Akos Chankira here, and this is Real Estate Coaching with Akos. I want to talk about one of my topics that I like talking about a lot, the abuse of social media. Oh my goodness gracious. I know real estate agents love social media because they think it's kind of free and you can show a customer that you're kind of doing something and it gives you warm and fuzzy feelings inside. Does it bring you business? That's a good question. It can bring you business if you use it right, but what I see is a lot of people using social media tremendously incorrectly. For example, I don't know what it is about social media, but it brings out the narcissistic, sociopathic, bragging people that we can all be at times, right? Listen, I don't want to offend anybody. Don't get offended by what I just said. But I saw a Facebook post, and this is kind of the extreme example, but I want to make my point, of an agent holding their commission check and taking a selfie, and the caption was, "Did a great deal. I'm on my way to the bank to cash my check." Let's pause on that for a second. Is that crazy or what? What good could come from that post? Nothing. That is such brand destroying behavior. I don't know why somebody would do that. Now let's look at another one. Okay, now we don't see the check thing too often, but I have seen it. Here's something I see all the time. "I sold 147 units this year. I'm great." You've seen versions of that, haven't you? I won an award. 147 produced. All right. Yeah, I know you've seen those. What if it was a doctor? What if a doctor had a check? "Look, I got 60 grand here. I saved a human life and I'm depositing the check right now." Would you go to that doctor? What if the doctor said, today, 82 patients, I've saved 82 people. I'm great. Would you go to that doctor? My favorite, what if the doctor had their arm around the customer exiting the hospital? "See these guys? I saved him." You see the real estate ones. "See these guys? I sold them a house." Listen, I'm starting to get a little close to home, aren't I? Would you go to that doctor? You wouldn't. Would you go to that real estate agent? You wouldn't. So if you wouldn't go to that doctor and you wouldn't go to that real estate agent, why are you putting posts up like that? Am I right or wrong? If I'm wrong, comment. If I'm right, comment, right? But this is one of my favorite pet peeves about social media. So the question then comes, Akos, you use social media? I do. But watch how I use it. And forget me, watch how great real estate agents, other great ones, use it too. Remember my videos previously? I talk about rapport. You don't earn anybody's business without building first rapport. I think the mistake is people think that rapport is enough to gain somebody's real estate business. It's not. It's just halfway there. The next step, of course, is what I call higher power, or being the expert in the room, or in fact being the doctor. I've heard trainers refer to it, you are the doctor of real estate. You got to reach that level. And that level comes with unique information. You gain somebody's higher power trust with unique information. And there's a video, again, you want to do that one, take a look at that one because that's really important. The unique information equals the higher power. That has closed me more real estate deals than I can shake a stick at. So when you're using social media, right? Let me give you an example. Social media, when you're building rapport, is common ground. Why do you think you like the kitty cat videos so much? Why do you think you like the little puppy dog videos so much? Because they're common ground. You like cats, right? You like dogs. Puts a smile on your face. That poster is achieving common ground with you. That poster on the Facebook or whatever is achieving rapport with you. That's why you like it so much. But you're not done yet. So you can do a lot of videos like that, a lot of social posts like that. For example, you see like listings to leads and list track or whatever you're using to do the automatic social media posts. The good ones, if you pay attention to them, are kind of real estate rapport-y ones. Like this year's Pantone color is olive white. What? But, somebody who's painting their house wants to know what's the hot color this year, right? And so the hot color this year Can be, I don't know, olive white, or I don't even know what the color this year. Or this is the most common cabinet style. These are rapport connections. That's how you use social media. You can use them for rapport connections, right? That won't get you real estate business, but it'll give you rapport. And you can't get rapport, you can't get higher ground unless you have rapport. So it's a stepping stone, right? It's a point of light, say. Because you got to mix your social media posts with the rapport ones, and then you got to mix your social media posts with the higher ground ones. Now, what is higher ground? Higher ground is unique information. Unique information, like, for example, that post, the video I have here on the training one, where the gap between sellers and buyers is bigger than it was in 2008. That's interesting. It is? Yes. That's why buyers and buyers' agents, you know, we shine their shoes, give them chocolate, give them cookies, you know, comb their hair, or whatever we got to do to get them in the door, because they're precious today. 3 years ago, we were kicking them around like old shoes. That's unique information. People wrote me and texted me, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. I go, of course. That's why it's a terrible, in my market here, it's a terrible time to sell. It's a great time to buy in my market. I'm sure different parts of America, it's different. But that was unique information, right? That gives me a higher power feel. In the other video in the real estate coaching with ACOS, when I talk about higher power, I use the example of when you're showing a house, have 3 points of light on price. When the customer asks you, well, how much is this place? Well, I was thinking the same thing. In fact, while I was in the driveway waiting for you, this, and then this price, and this price, and here's the 3 prices. But by the way, it's not important what I think what it's worth. Now that I've shown you this information, what do you think it's worth? What are you going to offer? Right? Those are higher power points. So when you're doing social media posts, blend the rapport ones with the unique information higher power ones. I'm a little worried about the listing postings because there's so many of them, it gets lost, right? I mean, if you're not spending money on it, then post it. But if you're going to post a listing post, you should be incorporating some form of AI for product placement. Because let me tell you something, social media is not cheap. In fact, it's one of the most expensive medias you can buy. You're going, what? It is. My television career, at the end of it, one of my tasks was, instead of being in front of the camera, I used to be a media buyer. We would spend $30 million a week. Did social media get any of it? No, it wasn't cheap. It's actually really expensive. Social media, when they serve it up to you, $30 or $40 or $50 at a time, your reach is kind of poor. So if you're going to do that as a blanket sort of shotgun approach, you're spending too much money. If you want to incorporate AI and demographic spending and putting that, you know, for example, at one of my videos I talk about, you know, we use technology where Martha and Jim out there in Seattle is talking about Mary and Arcadia. Hey, instead of going and renting something, why don't we buy something? Well, in Seattle, in that moment, my video shows up on their phone. Because AI and the data, Facebook's listening to you. You know that, right? Your phone, your television, and your computer are all listening to you. So you got to incorporate some strategic aiming when you're using social media spend. Otherwise, you're going to blow your brains out and spend too much money and not get any return. And then you're going to feel like you didn't do anything and it's a waste of time. But be more strategic. Anyways, the moral of the story, stop bragging. Stop focusing your social media on yourself. No one cares. Maybe you, maybe your mother, I don't know. But the customers don't, right? And start using social media for rapport building and higher power developing through unique information. Anyways, I love coaching. If you want to reach out to me, you can make comments. You can please subscribe and follow and like the page and subscribe wherever you're seeing this video. If you want to reach out to me, I'm very easy to reach. The contact information is in the social media platform you are. Reach out. Anyways, that's today's